You know, when you tell people don't do something with their own property, sometimes they can get a little heated and upset with you. And that's what I did a couple of months ago. Stop doing this with your carry gun. So now I'm gonna make a part 2 to that video. 5 things you should not be doing with your carry gun. Now, some of these things I see as a matter of fact, others are more of just my opinion. So whatever your opinion is, I wanna hear that down below in the comments. At least finish the video and give me a chance to tell you where I'm coming from though. So without further ado, 5 things to stop doing with your carry gun, part 2. And the first one, I think, is a matter of fact. Stop leaving your carry gun in your car. Now, you may or may not have heard the term truck gun, but generally this is a designated gun that you are going to keep in your truck or vehicle at all times. It's super convenient, which is the biggest thing, but it's also generally speaking going to be a less expensive gun, so that way if it gets stolen, you're not losing out. But one thing you have to remember is every stolen gun essentially is arming a criminal. And that's the last thing that we want to do. And most of us still abide by the BS rules and regulations and red tape provided to you by the government to hinder a right given to you by your creator. We still follow those things, at least most of us do, to be law-abiding gun owners in America, and yet some of us unintentionally arm criminals that aren't willing to go through the same channels to arm themselves legally or can't own a gun in the first place. The same criminal that could potentially use your gun against you. I refuse to do that, but there are ways to do this without putting your community, yourself, your house at risk. But the number one way is to get some kind of a truck safe, car safe, whatever, something that goes in the console, bolts to the console. I wouldn't get anything that you can just pick up and walk away with, but I would get something that bolts under your seat or in the console or whatever, leave it in there, make sure it's got a good lock on it. You could do that. If you don't want to go that route, then you could at least take the slide off and render it useless. So if that way somebody does break in, they're not going to be able to use that gun at that time. You know, they can buy a slide and have it shipped to their house, but at the same time, at least you've made it a lot harder for them to do that. The next thing we're going to talk about is making excuses why you don't need it. How many times have you heard somebody say this? Yeah, my back hurts today.
I'm sorry, babe. You still gonna carry?
Probably not.
At least you need to carry a smaller gun.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Hey, make sure you grab your gun.
Nah, I'm just gonna walk the dog. It's good. Hey, and listen, whole back issue thing, I get it. I am not trying to delegitimize that issue. I have that issue and I know how much it freaking sucks on a daily basis a lot of the times. But all I am saying, it's not an excuse to not carry a gun for your self-protection. And there's no just, oh, I'm just going here. Instead, say, I'm going here, I'm taking my gun. We've seen it at a multitude of places out in the open. It doesn't have to be the bad part of town for tragedies and things like this to unfold. So you want to make sure that you have it no matter where you go. As long as it's lawful for you to carry there, make sure you carry it with you. Hey, if you're enjoying the video so far, consider subscribing down below and hit the bell. That way you get notified every time I put out a new video, which that is 2 videos a week now, and coming in the next year, 3 videos a week. Rifles, pistols, concealed carry, everything gun related right here for you. I'm also looking for ideas and suggestions on what I can do to make my Patreon page and tiers a better option for you. We have a small group of dedicated, awesome fans that have been there for a long time, and now I want to grow that community there as well so we can continue to make awesome and better videos right here. Please, if you don't even want to join, just click the link, go over there, check it out, come back here, say, hey, maybe do X, Y, and Z, which would be a better option. Just looking to really grow that because it doesn't take a lot. $1 a month from a lot of people really helps a ton. Love to hear those suggestions as well. Now let's get back to the rest of the video. Now, unfortunately, conversations even with my closest friends have sparked the idea for this next one. Hey, what's good, bro? How you doing? Hey, what up, bro? Hey, man, got a new gun. Oh, nice, dude. What'd you end up getting? This is the Shield Plus Performance Center. Cool. Yeah, it's a great gun. Oh, I know, it's awesome. So it's got the gun. It's got an optic on there. You ever heard of the brand CT? CT? Anyways, it's got a cleaning kit, manual, and 2 clips. Oh, 2 clips. Oh, nice, bro. Yeah. Have you shot it yet? No, not yet. How long have you had it? About 6 to 8 months or so, something like that. Okay, so you so you really have no intentions on actually using it, or what do you? Yeah, right. They come in my house, they'll meet Mr. Wesson himself. Right, but you have to see how it shoots, point of aim, point of impact, where is it hitting? Dude, I mean, I heard these things are super reliable. They like test them at the factory or something. Have you bought any ammo at least? I did. Yeah, I bought a box of ammo. Yeah, I mean, that's cool, dude, but you have to run rounds through it too now. Actually, I did run rounds through it, and so I took them in my living room, and I just started racking them. Boom, 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 and they started going in and coming out, you know, that whole thing, and every single one of them was super reliable. Okay, first of all, we're friends, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I have the right to call you a dumbass. That's kind of hurtful, actually. You'll be fine. But what I'm saying, we've been friends way too long for you to not know this. You have to make sure that the gun works correctly and point of aim, point of impact, all that kind of stuff. I don't know, man. Life, wife, kids, dog, you know how it is, man. I just don't have time to just go out there. Okay. All right, man. Well, it was good to see you. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was good to see you too, bro. You guy has no idea what he's talking about. What a moron. I mean, I've had people ask me, hey, will you take me to the range the next time you go? And my answer is almost always yes, or we'll plan a date. There's 2 of you that watch me that I had this exact conversation with, good friends of mine. And yet, once it came down to it, they were busy. Not trying to pick on anybody in particular, but the whole point of you getting a gun is so you can train and use that gun, especially if this is your only gun, or you don't shoot a lot, or this is something that you're just now getting into, or it's been years and years and years since you've really shot and trained with that gun. Man, get yourself to the range. If you're gonna buy a holster, you're gonna buy the gun, you're gonna buy ammo and all this kind of stuff. That's great. Every gun is wildly different. Point of aim, point of impact can be different. It can shift. Sometimes you're going to have a 12 o'clock hold. Maybe a 6 o'clock hold may be better for you. Maybe your gun doesn't like your type of carry ammo that you've used in every gun before it, and it ran just fine, but this gun doesn't really run well with that type of ammo. You need to know these things before you would ever have to use it. So take some time. If you're going to invest the money, also invest the time into yourself, into a loved one, whatever, so that way you are efficient with that gun that could potentially save your life. Remember, that's why you bought it in the first place. So don't buy a gun, hype it up, and then literally never shoot it. Or even worse, buy all the accessories and everything to go with it, and buy 1 box of ammo. When, me or one of your friends ask you, hey man, how many rounds have you put through it? Oh, dude, I put like a whole box or something, bro. Oh, so 50 rounds. This next one, I know some of you are not going to stop doing this. I know that, but I just want to share my opinion. If it changes somebody's mind, just one person's mind, then I'm okay with it. Stop. Please stop buying aftermarket magazines. I don't care how many extra rounds they add to your carry gun. I don't care. I've never been a fan of them. There's a lot of R&D that goes into magazines to make sure that they are reliable in your gun. So for me to then say, oh, well, this aftermarket company, they can do it better than the manufacturer, when that's one of the biggest fail points in any gun. This is something James Yeager really, really was passionate about, and something that he taught me, and it makes total sense. A magazine is going to be the most common failure point in your gun. You know, it's a wear item and you should treat it as such. For me to try to save a few bucks by buying an aftermarket magazine or one that has more rounds, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this. I do a new gun review. Oh, well, my original shield has 16 rounds because I have this magazine in it. Okay. You know, and you can say that you've run all these rounds through it. I don't trust them. If there's a new gun that comes out, there's nothing wrong with getting that new gun. Just sell the other one. If you have original shield or an M2.0, just for example, and the Shield Plus comes out, it holds more rounds, well, the manufacturer has made the new magazines to run with the gun reliably, so sell the other one. You know, instead of trying to make this one into something that it's not and have a potential failure. That's the biggest part of this. Have a potential failure, a catastrophic failure that renders your gun useless. Please, man, stop buying aftermarket mags. I know some of you, again, will not take that advice and some of you will argue it. Some people will choose to die on that hill. I just hope that it's figuratively, not literally, because you decided to cheap out, buy some aftermarket magazines, or double the capacity of a gun that wasn't designed for it. Please, man, please just buy OEM mags or upgrade your gun and sell the one you had. There you go. So if you haven't heard me say anything up to this point, at least hear me on the last one. So maybe you got a gun, right? You're shooting, practicing, whatever. You got a permit and you got a holster. You're carrying your gun, right? Well, you've invested time and money into this, but there's one more crucial thing you have to do to build your confidence, knowing that if you ever have to use that firearm, you can use it effectively and others around you will be safe as well, and that is practicing drawing from your holster and doing it a lot. Now, very few people are born with these amazing skills at birth. It takes repetition and dedication to get good at anything, whether that's singing or guitar playing, or maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a craftsman, maybe you're a carpenter, maybe you're a really badass carpenter. Whatever you're good at, that takes a lot of time and practice to get really good at it. And that includes even gunslingers like my boy here, Doc Holliday.
Isn't that a daisy?
Point is, if you want to be good at this and you want to be effective, you got to practice this a lot. And I even admitted recently that I haven't practiced that a lot while I was at the range. So I started carrying a holster for the gun that I'm reviewing, if I have a holster for it, and practicing my draws at the range, live fire, dry fire. This is something that you can do at your house safely. You can get a Mantis X, I talked about this. It's gonna give you real feedback, real-time feedback on what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. It's gonna help you in your shooting skills. There's all kinds of ways that you can get really good at this, and you don't even have to spend a dime. I mean, you could do this while you watch The Walking Dead. You can use the zombies as your target if you want to, so you don't have to take an incredible amount of time out of your day, which none of us really have anyways. You could do it while you're watching TV with your wife, if that's what you are into or whatever. Having a gun is half the battle, and as important as that is, the other half is just as important, being able to get it and use it effectively. Practice your draws from your holster. Don't neglect that aspect. If you're gonna train, again, train the right way. If you have any more ideas like this, you want me to use those in a future video, leave those down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to support what I do, you can do that on Patreon for as little as $1. $1 helps more than you will ever know. I'll leave that link down below as well. And big thanks to all of our current channel members and patrons. About to give you some love right here after this. Thank you. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.